Donald Mackle from Donald Mackle Gaming, back again with some more £40 pickups because that last series did really, really well. For those of you who haven't seen it, what I do is I go to a retailer of some description. I have £40 to spend, and I try and get the best bargains I can with it. In the original one, we had charity shops, Facebook Marketplace, Vinted, and of course CEX. The CEX one really, really did well. A lot of people watched that, and for once I got really, really good bargains from there. So no slating CEX on that one. This time round, I've opted for three very, very different ways of buying. The first one being easy to comprehend is independent stores, so just your alternatives to CEX, really, your smaller stores out there that specialise in selling computer games normally. The second one would be Amazon Marketplace, but more specifically the second-hand sales side of Amazon Marketplace, because it's easy to go on there and buy new products. What you don't know is underneath it, it says, well, it tends to say buy new and used, and if you click on that you can get used games. Admittedly, not normally a big decrease on the initial price, but there are some bargains out there. The first one, the one that we're starting with today, is of course the all-conquering eBay. Now, eBay, normally you go on there, you put bids in, and it's like an online auction. So you'll put a bid in, and then it'll just escalate, and the person with the highest bid at the end of it gets the product. Or you can do buy it now, or you can make offers on things. One of these that I've managed to get was via an offer. One was through buy it now, and the rest were through auctions. So I'll show you what I got for £40 from eBay, and it's not good. So we'll start off with probably the most obscure one that I got. Not really into this series whatsoever, if I'm honest with you. I got this solely to pad out my Xbox 360 collection, and not only that, I suppose it might introduce me to this fighting series in particular. This is something that I don't own. I know there was another one for the Xbox 360, but that's even more expensive than this was, sadly. This is King of Fighters XII, so King of Fighters 12, again for the Xbox 360, and it cost me £13 from eBay. I think this one was the buy it now deal. So yeah, I don't know if that's a good deal or not. I will try and dink up the CEX price up in the top corner, which, as everybody knows, is the standard way people tend to price the things in the UK at the moment. So it's a fighting game. I think this one is. I think it's a 3-on-3 fighting game. So I think you pick 3 characters against 3 characters, and they fight it out. Again, not great at fighting games. I genuinely did just get this, number 1 for the challenge because I didn't own it, and number 2 just to pad out my Xbox 360 collection. But I've heard it's a really, really good series. So if you're into your fighting games, let me know. Or have I just been completely scammed of £13? But yeah, that's the first one, is King of Fighters 12 for the Xbox 360 for £13. Not sure if that's a good deal or not. We'll move on to the next one. So the next one is a game I have wanted for a long, long time. Never got it when it came out. I've heard it's absolutely terrible, if I'm honest with you. It's a Square Enix game as well. So I know they do have a few duffers, but it did surprise me because this was back in their heady days of the PS2, when you think they'd be releasing some really, really good stuff. So this is, a PS2 game. Again, heard terrible things about it. The Bouncer, quite confusingly as well. This one was won on auction. The front cover on that one was completely different to this, and I found out why. It's because it's all in German. So they sent me like a really, really dodgy copy of The Bouncer. It just had like a standard image when I bought it. Didn't have any pictures of the disc or anything like that. I tried to get in touch with the seller whilst I was bidding on this. Got absolutely no response from them because I was asking obviously for pictures of the disc and so on and so forth. They sent this through. It cost me, I think it was £6.64. I know that's quite precise. It's just I only remember that because it was nearly 666. But yeah, we got quite a bit of an evil deal with that one, in that they sent a German copy through. So I've not tried it yet. I hope, again, not tried with PS2. I hope if you stick a European game in, it automatically goes to English, or at least there's an easy way of getting it into English because I don't speak other languages. So Bouncer for the PS2, £6.64, so we'll call it £6.70. Anyway, that one through auction. Is it worth it, particularly for a German version of the game? Again, I don't know. I will try and get a CX price up for the UK version of it, but slim pickings on eBay. And I've got something to talk about at the end of the video as well as to why I didn't send that back, why I decided to keep it. Third game, this one, another Square Enix game that I don't own. I got this because I love the series, really. I know this is nothing like the rest of the series. It's absolutely nothing like it. But I just wanted it because I didn't have it in my collection. Never played it before either. And I know I think there's a version of this available for the PSP. And that's silly money, whereas this one wasn't too bad. If I said Final Fantasy for the PS2 and an offshoot, you'd probably know what I'm talking about. It's Dirge of Cerberus for the PS2. This one cost me £14, 1-4, and this one was a bid. So I think it was like about £13.90 something or other. But yeah, so £14 for this game. Again, is that a good price? I'm not too sure. I don't normally pay a lot of money for my games, so £14 for a PS2 game was pushing it for me. And I only bought this one again because it was really, really slim pickings. Obviously, eBay is a big sea full of fish. It's just that the fish are all overpriced. There's a lot of people on there bidding to try and get exactly what you want. And I'm sure that half of them are the people selling the games bidding on their own products, because you just see, as soon as you put one bid on, boop, it gets cancelled. So, yeah, I probably would stick to doing the buy it nows if I knew what I know now. But anyway, £14 for Dirge of Cerberus on the PS2. Hopefully that's a good price. We will, again, find out what it's worth in the UK. Oh, and that is a UK one as well. There's nothing dodgy about that one, so at least that's quite decent. Sadly, that's pretty much all my budget done, and this is how eBay was working for me. I wasn't getting any cheap deals on there of things that I didn't own, so I had to pad it out. I had to fill up the rest of it. This one come to around £6. I know literally I went a little bit over my budget, but it's what I had to do just to get these games. I think it was about £6.50. I picked up 3 PS1 games, all of them on last minute not last minute buy it nows. I went onto the guy's page. He'd got a load of discs. Again, it's a weird thing on eBay where you might search for a game and it'll say, oh, that's $1.99 for a loose disc. You click on it and then it just is a big drop down menu and you find your disc on all these other ones. You click on it and it'll go $17.99. And you go, what? It gives you the cheapest price out of everything they've got listed. And when you click on what you want, 9 times out of 10 you get ripped off. This guy had discs for the PS1 that were reasonably priced, again all in a big drop down menu. I just contacted him directly and said, look, I want these 3 games, can you do them for, initially I said £6. He said no, £7. I said £6.50. He accepted. They're not worth even £6. Again, I got this just to pad the thing out. So the first one is Victorious Boxing 2. Victorious Boxing 2 for the is it PS1? Yeah, it is for the PS1. Apparently it's a really good boxing game. I normally wouldn't buy unboxed stuff unless it was ridiculously rare, and I don't think it is. So for the equivalent of about, what was it, £2.15 or whatever it is, £2.17, I don't consider that a good deal. The next 2, I love how these arrived all packaged up. Couldn't even be bothered to send me them in 3 different sleeves. He sent that one individually, these 2 in the same sleeve, but with some cling film wrapped around the top corner, as you can see there. It is Cool Borders 2, the Sony PlayStation, the Platinum version as well. So worth nothing, absolutely nothing. Again, just bought these to get that £40 bundle, just because I knew there might be a couple of people in the comments going, you didn't spend the full £40. Well, I have, and it was a real struggle, and I'll tell you what at the end of the video. The other game I got, again, which cost about £2, £2.50, whatever. These are all twos as well. We've got Victory Boxing 2, Cool Borders 2, and Jimmy White's Cue Ball 2. So I love me snooker. I do like snooker and pool. Jimmy White, one of my sporting heroes. But yeah, to get those three for £6.50, I wasn't impressed, but I needed to spend that £40. So that is my £40 bundle, believe it or not, especially coming from what I had before on all my other pickups. That's all I got for 40 quid. Why did I settle for those, you might be thinking? Well, I had multiple purchases that were cancelled by the people trying to sell them, probably because they hadn't sold for enough money, so they just basically refused to send them out. I had ones that I won and just never arrived. They said they'd sent them. Again, with eBay, with Vinted, there's the option to select your courier. On this, whoever sells them pays the postage. Invariably, they choose something really cheap, or what I'm guessing is, again, they just don't post them at all and go, because there was no arguments either. On Vinted, if something either doesn't arrive or it arrives damaged, you tend to get the whole, well, I've definitely posted it and here's proof, blah, 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 blah. On this, I won a few things really cheap. They said they'd sent them, and then there's just no proof. And when I sort of said, like, look, nothing's arrived, they'd go, yeah, here's your refund. So it stank, really. It stank of somebody that just knew that they were trying to get money for not sending something out. There was a couple of things as well where there was, oh God, what was it? There was like a Space Invaders game for the PS2, which really is interesting. I wanted to get it for this video. I might ping up some chat I've had with the guy. Went missing, and he did sort of seem a bit perplexed as to why nothing's arrived, and he said he sent it out, I think it's just second class, so I'd paid like about £4 post and packaging for a Space Invaders game for the PS2. I can't remember what it's called, but it's not Space Invaders, it's like a spin-off of Space Invaders for the PS2. I paid like £4 P&P for it, and he just sent it out second class, and you go, well, mate, what am I paying for here? So there's little instances like that. There was one where somebody sent out a game. The game was in horrendous condition, absolutely horrendous. I mean, like I say, that one, which one was it? The Bouncer. On that one, it's German. I can't even remember what language this one was. I think it was Spanish. Can't even remember what game it was. But yeah, it came in like Spanish, no manual, even though it said complete, new, tested, all this sort of stuff. Pulled the disc out. The disc looked like it had been rubbed over a cheese grater. And with that, as soon as I took pictures, sent it back saying, look, this is not as described. It's not even as the pictures as you've got in your listing. They said, yeah, send it back for a refund. So eBay seems to be really bad for me. I am hoping in the future to do a video with a guy who sells a lot on eBay, and he'll do the flip side of that. He'll do the problems that you can get as a seller, but definitely as a buyer. I really struggled with eBay. There was a funny one as well, not part of this video. I wanted to buy a copy of Parasite Eve 2 for the Sony PlayStation 1. I found a mint copy for £60. when it arrived in the post, it was just a see-through CD case with some racist 1970s comedy, and even then it was like disc 7 of an 8-disc set. Come on, mate. With that, it was a genuine mistake. I did return that to him, and eventually he did send me through Parasite Eve 2 and a couple of other free games, which was nice. So there are some decent sellers on there, but by and large, I had a lot of trouble trying to get used games through eBay. It's probably not something I'm going to use again. You're probably going to get better deals than I am, but for the purposes of this video, I really struggled. That is my £40 pickup deal. Let me know, do you think it's worth it? Obviously, Victorious Boxing 2, Jimmy White's 2, and Cool Borders 2, probably not. I still think that for these 3 games, I think £40 isn't that bad. Obviously, the Bouncer being a German copy, yeah. I'm sure the gameplay will still be the same, and I've heard it's terrible anyway. I just want to play it. But for Dirge of Cerberus and King of Fighters 12, I think that's all right. I think you'd probably pay around £25–30 just for those 2. So, yeah, I still think I did okay, but I still think I could get all of that cheaper from somewhere else. Anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know about your experiences. Please tell me if you've had both bad and good experiences. Let me know if you've had absolute gems on there. Let me know if you've been absolutely swindled. That was my £40 experience. I've been Donald Mackerel. It's been Donald Mackerel Gaming. Cheers, everyone.